Hey, what's up, Lightbolt Joe here. Today we are going to discuss the 2021 Netflix original show, Season 1 of Netflix's original show, Young Royals, starring Edvin Riding, Omar Rudberg, slew of other people are in this. Both are two Swedish actors. This movie is filmed in Sweden. This show is filmed in Sweden. It is in Swedish, it's in Spanish, it's in English. So to have different ethnicities represented in Sweden, to have different languages spoken throughout, three specific ones spoken throughout, Swedish, English, and Spanish, I felt very cultured watching this. Here I am, a lowly American, speaking one language, and it's just cool watching different countries' things. I love Netflix because you're introduced to a lot of different cultures. You're introduced to a lot of different projects from a lot of different countries. Very cool. I don't remember the last Swedish film I saw, to be completely honest, or show. So for this to be on my roster of things, just finished watching Heartstopper Season 1 again. 8 episodes, obsessed with that show. You know, Charlie Spring and Nick Nelson romance is just absolutely incredible. I can't wait to read the comics. And so Young Royals popped up as the recommended because it's the same genre. It's a teenage gay romance, but like scandal. So Heartstopper is very magical. It's very cute. It's very cartoony in the comic book sense, but it's gorgeously done. That's why I had to binge it a second time. Obsessed. Young Royals is a drama. 6 episodes long as opposed to Heartstopper's 8 episodes. Heartstopper has 23-ish minute long, 8 episodes long. This is like 43, 47 minutes per episode. So it's a little different. But bruh, this is incredible. So Edvin Riding, he as soon as he came on screen, and I don't know anything about him, he looks exactly like Nicholas Hamilton. Nick Hamilton we know and love, playing Henry Bowers in 2017's It, 2019's It Chapter 2. He is a TikTok sensation at this point, doing cocktails in his New York City apartment, being sponsored by countless alcoholic beverages. Who would have thought our young Nick Hamilton playing murderous Henry Bowers would become this, TikTok sensation, making drinks in his bar, in his apartment. But Edvin looks just like him, so that was the immediate thought. Now, this is scandalous. Edvin is the second-born prince. His brother Eric is the firstborn, so he's the crown prince. There are major spoilers throughout this conversation starter, if you will. So with Eric's passing, it is now, the crown prince is now bestowed upon Wilhelm, Willie, as they call him, Edvin's character. And so he's going now to this private school, Hilder something, and because he was in a fight and it went public and the video went viral that he headbutted someone and he got a scar on his face. And so then he goes to this school and he meets Omar's character. Omar Rudberg plays the character of Simone, Simon. We would say Simon, they say Simone. So Simone is openly gay, sings in the choir. He meets Will. They have a couple classes together. But then they inadvertently start to like each other, and then they start to hook up, and then there's a tape that's dropped. Well, a video that is released of the two of them. You can't really tell it's Will, but everybody at the school knows it's Will because it's Will's dorm, it's Will's room, because it's a boarding school. So it's a matter of who did it and why. But that's the mystery towards the end of the show, of course. But it's still the exploration of who do I like, what do I do? Do I choose my own feelings, my own personal growth, or do I stay true to the family in a Dom Toretto kind of voice? Family. He's a royal prince. He's the crown prince. A lot of this now falls to him. Responsibility, public outings, all these different things, right? How is his mom going to handle the situation? The queen, her majesty, going to handle the situation of her son being in a sex tape with this random blue-collar kid, right? So it's now the tale as old as time. The royal is now in love with the commoner. What happens? So Will decides to put the family first and then deny it was him in the tape, but then it's not really a tape because VHS tape doesn't really exist anymore. It was a video shot on a phone, obviously, but it's a matter of why did his cousin August, A, first of all, record it, because that's creepy, but B, what was the vengefulness, the revenge driven towards it? Is because Will outed him that he doesn't have any money? Is it because, Will is disregarding everything that he has, and August has nothing compared to his second cousin, Will, who has everything? A lot of different factors. So, of course, there's the frat aspect of it, there's the brotherhood aspect of it, but then it's a matter of doing some digging. So this other royal, because it's a royal, prep school, minus some, random commoner kids that are allowed to go and join. It's interesting because it's a matter of what happens next. It's a matter of what do you do in that situation. Will originally wanted to do, what was best for the family, and then it was brought to his attention by his friend Felice, another royal, who goes to the same school, that his cousin August is the one who actually did it. She did some sleuthing, found dead pixels on the phone. It was incredible. I was going to say crazy and incredible at the same time. You hear that? I was coming up with crazy. It was crazy. I'm going to use that. That's awesome. So, being as crazy as it was, the reveal, and then Will having a conversation with his mom, and she said, yeah, I knew 2 days ago. I knew how you would react. And then he hangs the phone up on her. Oh, bro, I got chills. Because then it's a matter of what happens next. We end at Christmas. This is now officially a Christmas thing. Adding it to the Christmas list. Damn it, I should have worn a Christmas hat. So, what happens next, right? Will and Simon get a nice hug at the end. Simon and Will have a heart-to-heart, after bodyguard stuff, after the actual denial was public. And Simone basically says, I'm not to be your secret. You deserve to be happy. Take all the time you need. I will respect that. They leave it at that, essentially break up. But then, at the end, Will literally says, I love you, Simon. Simone, I hope you have a great Christmas. And so there's the Christmas ending. I'm sorry, just things are popping up on my screen. I'm just trying to see if I know these characters. So to have Will publicly hug Simone at the school, knowing that everybody else knows that they've been together, what happens next? And then to have Edmund's character just look at the camera for the last 4 seconds with a song talking about a revolution, you're like, bro, this is awesome. So it's going to be very entertaining in regards to what happens next. Season 2 just completed filming. This came out July 21, so I don't know when Season 2 drops. I know they just finished it this month. I think they just finished it this month. Yeah, May 2022. So we'll see. Probably in the fall we'll get it on Netflix. I'm very excited to see what happens next. I'm very happy that I watched Heartstopper, which then this brought in the, hey, you might like this, check it out. Because I did, and it was awesome. So, something I have to say in regards to this show. I love, and I know a lot of critics have actually spoken about this as well. This is getting rave reviews. This is a better critic consensus than Heartstopper? No, Heartstopper has the better critic consensus. Doesn't matter. They're both in the high, 8 point whatevers for IMDb. They used teenagers and young 20-year-olds for the characters of teenagers in this show. Normally it doesn't do that. Normally it doesn't happen. And they let the kids have their acne, have blemishes. Edvin is covered in pimples throughout the entirety of the season. And no one does anything about it. And I am so happy to see the authenticity of a human character being presented to us as a teenager. This teenage boy, this teenager, 16, 17, however old he is not even 15. I don't even know. I don't even know what age he's actually supposed to be in this show. But this teenager is trying to figure out where does he fit in within his actual family with the death of his brother, mourning the loss of his brother, figuring out his sexual orientation along the way, wanting to make sure that he is happy and safe, and he only feels that way with this particular person. That's what we all should strive for. To be safe, happy, and healthy. That's all that matters. And what happens next within the royal aspect? Will he then backtrack and say, you know what? It was me. I am in love with Simone. Deal with it. Will he be the first gay prince of Sweden? That would be an epic twist. I don't think this is based on books. I think it's its own separate thing. But back to the acne thing, it's very rare to see actual humans portray actual humans. So it gives it a nice sense of realism because they're not gorgeously beautiful, makeup and all this fancy shining stuff, right? These actors and actresses are beautiful in general, but the blemishes enhance the beauty because it's real. I've said this a few times with different shows or different movies. I like when actors have body hair, that it's it, like, if I use Charlie McDermott all the time as a prime example. He played Axel Heck in ABC's The Middle, which ran for 9 seasons. He was growing as the show grew, right? As the show went on for 9 years. So his physical body changed as the show progressed. Some seasons he had, tight toned abs. The last few seasons he had some flab, and but he had tiny little patch of hair here when the first show aired, and then eventually it grew, and then the Happy Trail grew a little more, and it showed growth as a character, but it showed growth as a human. This was a real human playing a real character. That's why Axel Heck is one of my favorite characters, aside from his character, development and story arc to begin with. But he was a real person because it wasn't fabricated. He played a real teenager because real teenagers go through puberty. You grow stuff. It happens. Genetics. So to have these real teenagers have blemishes and talk about certain things, talk about ADHD, talk about Asperger's, talk about being gay, talk about experimenting, talk about makeup, talk about not fitting into a dress, talk about body images. It was very realistic. It was a real conversation that anyone could have had in any school. Covered in pimples. It was so great watching it, and I know a lot of critics agreed on that. It was that they used real actors playing real people. That's what gave it the sense of authenticity. I just repeated myself for the 4th time. I think we're going to leave it at that. Season 1, Young Royals, Netflix. Incredible, incredible trilingual show. Try. English, Spanish, Swedish. Technically Swedish, Spanish, English, if we want to get more technical, and the amount of language that was actually spoken. Incredible show. Can't wait for season 2. On to the next review. Mucho mahalo.